At the Fay What Show, we want to introduce you to interesting people that are important to our LGBTQ plus community, and today is no different. I'm always so blessed and happy about who I get to interview, but this next woman is just an incredible human, all right? And I got to meet her a couple of months back when I worked with Compass. They're just another incredible organization up in West Palm Beach. And so I've been trying to get her in bed for a while now. But let me tell you a little bit about Ruthie before we start talking to her, okay? So Ruthie was born in Brooklyn, March 30th, 1934. In 1988, Ruthie was a health and physical education teacher at a Brooklyn high school. She and her wife sued the New York City Board of Education for domestic partner benefits in 1988, eventually winning in 1994. The couple went on the talk shows like Phil Donahue, that was like the biggest talk show back then. Geraldo, that crazy fool too, to talk about the case, and came out of the closet on Donahue in 1988. Berman and Kurtz, her wife, started branches of Parents, Friends, and Family of Lesbians and Gays, PFLAG, in Florida and New York. And in 2000, they began serving as co-chairs for the New York State Now Lesbian Rights Task Force. They also founded the Answer is Loving Counseling Center. They were both certified counselors back then and worked there for over 20 years. They retired to Palm Beach County, Florida, where they were continually active in democratic, LGBT, feminist, and Black Lives Matter politics. So Ruthie Berman was in her 40s when she kissed her best friend Connie Kurtz for the first time. She said, I was like in another world. I was in another space when our lips met. It was just totally different than anything that I had experienced. This was the 1970s, with both married to men, both mothers, both members of the same small little Jewish community in Brooklyn. But Berman felt something, and she realized she'd never felt that before. She was falling head over heels in love after that kiss. And she kissed and kissed and kissed for the next 40 years. I love that, Ruthie. Here's Ruthie Berman. Woo!
Hi.
Ruthie. Hi, how are you, Mama?
With that introduction, that was beautiful.
I didn't know.
But there's a however.
Okay, however. Please
You
tell
ready
me.
for the however?
I so am ready for the however.
Connie passed away almost 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. You're the first woman I'm in bed with.
Listen, I take that real seriously. And you didn't do that bad for after Connie. I mean, I have big shoes to fill right there. I love that. Hi, Ruthie. Welcome to the show, Mama.
Thank you.
How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you doing? I know you just came back from COVID.
I had COVID twice. It had secondary stuff. I'm only seeing 3 doctors because I check up on each of them. And if I don't like what they're doing, I'll move around. But I have to take care of myself.
I love that. So you're cheating on your doctors, basically.
Not really. They know.
They know. They know. Are they women doctors or men doctors?
They're all different. They're all different in what the work that they do. So.
But they're keeping you healthy.
I'm keeping.
And you're
me
happy
healthy.
with them.
I'm keeping me.
You're
healthy.
also into health and food and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
What do you eat? What do you drink? What do you do that keeps you this young?
Well, what happened was when I was 18 years old, a counselor in sleepaway camp, and one kid gets sick, everybody lines up.
Yep.
And those days, the only thing they had was penicillin.
For everything.
I was allergic to it.
Oh.
I had to find something else. Got into college, met my mentor. She brought me to chiropractors, nutrition, exercise, the works. And I keep it up.
That's beautiful. When did you start that?
I was about 18, 19. Yeah.
So I'm in my 40s, Ruthie. I don't know if I can start that now.
Yes, you can. I'll help you.
Oh my God, I love it.
Really?
But see, I'm Latina. I can't just eat a piece of kale and a peanut. I'm not going to be happy with that.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
So let's talk about Connie, because there's so much to talk there. So you and Connie were originally close friends in the 70s, right?
Right.
The 70s, Ruthie.
We both were in the same apartment building when we got married and had our first children.
Separately.
Separately.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends. We were good friends. There were a lot of marriages with carriages and things. And then I had an opportunity to move to a middle-class condo in Brooklyn called Cathedral Towers. It was a secret that I was given that opening. And so I gave the secret to 2 of our friends. One was Connie and I don't remember her name. And we moved together, and we became close friends. We shared holidays together, everything.
Your kids grew up together?
Kids grew up together. Not so much together. The daughters did. Mm-hmm. The daughters. And it's where I had my third, who was another boy, and she had her second, another boy. And we were very good friends, but I had my life. I was a health and phys ed teacher. I worked 3 blocks from school, and we usually went away summers to what's called a kachelane. That's a Jewish word for you cook by yourself.
How do you say it?
Kachelane.
A kachelane.
Right.
Did I say it right though? See?
Very well.
I'm Jewish
Very
now.
well.
I love it. Uh-huh.
If you're Jewish now, then you could be on my program.
I'll convert.
I have a good place for you.
Do you?
The Gay Synagogue in New York City, Congregation Beit Simchat Torah, is an amazing place.
I love that. I love that. And all are welcome. Like, not
all are welcome. All are welcome.
That was one of the things like growing up for me, Ruthie, was that like I always wanted to go to church. I wanted to go to a temple. I wanted to be a part of something, religious that encompassed something bigger than me, right? But every time I went to a church and it said all are welcome, and then I would walk inside and sit in the pews, and I was told that I was an abomination, I was going to hell.
Oh, not
So
not
it
here.
gave me like such a bad taste in my mouth for religion that till this
Understood.
day I still have a little PTSD.
Well, now that we're in bed together, you can come over, and on a Friday night if you're free, and I'll stream it for you. You'll meet the rabbi. She's an amazing woman. Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum. It's a wonderful place. It kept me, I would say, alive during the pandemic, because they Zoomed everything.
Yeah.
Classes, social life, the synagogue. It was beautiful. And they're still doing it. It's lovely.
I love that.
Really lovely.
So I can do Shabbat.
Yes. Yes.
See?
That's very good. I think you need to be converted. You're really saying it beautifully.
No, I mean, listen, it's a beautiful religion. It's a beautiful community. Like, it's just like...
This is an extraordinary community that we're getting more and more straight people.
I love that. And I didn't know that it was so welcoming.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Very welcoming. Very welcoming.
So let's talk more about Connie. You're friends with somebody, and and here's the thing, like when I was in high school, like I didn't know I was gay, right? I knew I was different, right?
Uh-huh.
And I knew that I liked my friends a little more than I should, right? Like my best girlfriend, like when she moved away, I was devastated. I now know that I had an intimate friendship with her, even though we never did anything and nothing went. But for me, she had my heart. I didn't know that at the time, at what moment did you know that you and Connie were meant to be more than just friends?
That's very interesting, because Connie went to live in Israel with her family. We still communicated, stayed together, and she was coming in for a visit. And I was very excited that she was coming in for a visit, but my late ex-husband and I were going away for a weekend. We used to do that frequently so that we would just be together, not with the 3 kids always. Mm-hmm. And that was a smart thing to do. And then we met. She came back from visiting. I came back from the little vacation. And one Sunday night, she came over and we started to talk. And we talked. And we talked. It was midnight. And so she called the people where she and her husband were staying that she's coming. And she didn't. We stayed overnight. And
this is what year?
Oh, it was in the 70s.
Okay.
Early 70s.
And did she have that kind of relationship with her husband that she can stay out till 2 a.m. at somebody else's house?
She called him.
Okay.
And it was my house. We were good friends. It didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And, but that was fine. And then I said to myself, my friend is only going to be here for a couple of weeks. I'm going to spend all the time I can with her. Mm. And one day with a third friend, also called Ruth Taffel, she's passed away, we were like a threesome. We went to a theater because I was doing a master's degree at NYU. Yeah, it was NYU. And the teacher had theater tickets from one of the professors was putting on a show. We went to the show, and it was little little acts. One of the acts was a lesbian wearing this red gown, singing a song, talking about herself, and something happened to me. Now, I'm 40 years old. What happened to me? It seemed like I connected with her, but I let go of it. It wasn't important.
You thought, it was a fluke, whatever.
Yeah, it was, what happened was, I also said to myself, I'm 40 years old, I'm going to let everything hang out. I didn't know what that was. And when Connie and I met, her husband was leaving. He had to go back to work in Israel. She was staying another week. And I said, you're staying another week? Leave Maryland's, you're going to stay with us, you'll sleep in Lenny's bedroom, my daughter. And one morning, I decided I wasn't going to go to work, I was going to be with her. I got up that morning and I called her into the bedroom, and without any consciousness, I was not conscious, I made love to her. She shared with me that she was in a total state of shock.
She didn't see it coming, but you didn't see it coming either. Like, I mean,
No.
You
I just
saw
said
her.
I'm going to let hang out. I don't, and that was the beginning. She had to go back. We connected. I went to Israel for my birthday, my 40th birthday, and
You saw her again.
we spent 2 weeks together. And it wasn't like we needed to get know each other. We knew
You knew each other, yeah.
So there was always conversation. There was always everything. And then we bring in Cantello Towers. And I remember now, I could take you to the lobby. I could take you there. I could even point out the clothes we were wearing. We were going to an ORT meeting, Organization for Rehabilitation Through Training, a Jewish women's organization. And it was new, and they were going to share with us. They wanted us to start a chapter. And I tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, I'm going to nominate you for president. I said, I will be behind you. I will do everything that you don't want to do, that you need. I will be there.
But you'll be the face.
And
She'll be the face.
That started our coming together in that. And
But how about your husbands, Ruthie? Excuse me. Did you tell them? Were you keeping all this from them?
Oh, absolutely.
How was it to see?
Only for a short period of time, because Connie did not want to be in that kind of a place of having an affair. So it was very, very, all the berries. You got all the berries, put berries all over the screen, okay? Very difficult for me, because I loved my husband. I had a wonderful marriage. I had 3, and still do, 3 fantastic children, and my life was going to go totally upside down.
Yeah.
So it was very hard.
But at that moment,
For
did
Connie,
you know
it
you
wasn't.
loved her? At
Yes,
that moment, you already knew.
That's what it was. That I loved her was a choice. I had to make that choice. And she was ready. She was ready.
And you?
She could handle it. I wasn't ready. I was awful. 1 minute I'd say yes, 1 minute I'd say no. 1 minute got the apartment, no, drop it. It was very sad what I did.
Okay, but expected to, Ruthie. You can't punish yourself for that. You were about to change your whole entire life upside down.
Right.
This is the
she
70s.
She was with me all along the way, but always said, she always had something to say you have to make a decision. And I'm trying to think, because it's such a long time ago, how did I make the decision? How did I finally decide that I was going to divorce, separate, not live with my children? I couldn't live with my children, because when I did go for the divorce, the lawyer, who happened to be a lesbian lawyer, which we didn't know, we found out later, she was in the closet, like I was, that I couldn't really live with my children. They would take them away if I made, and he knew I was a lesbian. He knew that. He saw what was happening between the two of us. And as sorry as I felt for him, I couldn't not do it. And she was very helpful, very supportive, and she made it easy for me to make a decision, not to make a decision, back and forth, till finally she put her foot down and I made the decision and we lived together.
How did you tell your husband?
I never told him.
You just said, I want a divorce.
I want to
He knew.
separate.
He knew.
He knew.
He
Yes.
felt it.
He never forgave me, and I accept that.
And so did he make the divorce difficult? I mean, like you said,
No.
they could have taken your children away during
No,
that time.
He
No.
didn't make it
Good.
difficult at all.
At least.
Because I was giving him child support.
You were paying him child support for the
Yeah.
kids. The kids
Yeah.
were with him.
Well, 2 were in college, 1 was still in high school. Had to be difficult for them. And I gave, yeah. In fact, he brought me to court one day to pay more, and the judge said, she's doing enough.
She's paying you already enough, sir.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. And we came together, and it was wonderful. But also you have to remember before this happened, as mothers, we were very active in the community. We had the Mothers Actions Committee. She was the president of ORT. We were always politically active.
But not in the LGBTQ plus community as politically active. And this is the 70s. So I'm trying to think like Stonewall, 69, 70 was the first Pride. Did you know of any of that?
I knew nothing about being a lesbian or that. We knew Stonewall because we were together. It happened in the late
60s,
the mid
69.
70s.
Mm-hmm.
And but what we did when we came together, we knew we'd have to find out what is LGB. There was no
By
T
then
yet.
it was LGB and that's it probably,
Right.
or LG.
We wanted to meet people. We wanted to have a life. And so every night for 1 year, I would pick her up from work, and we would pick places where we would go that lesbians, gays were, and we would go there, make friends, people, get active in
How did you find
politics.
out where these places were? This is before social media, before cell
Well,
phones?
there was always something in the newspapers,
Okay.
and I'm sure, which I don't remember now, that I knew a lesbian or gay person in my circle.
Yeah.
Not my personal circle, but my school circle, my positional circle.
So you guys you're in New York. By this time you already moved in together. I know that you ended up.
We're in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn. You ended up suing
Yeah.
the New York City Board of Education
That was
in
later.
88.
That was later.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Connie did not have health
Insurance.
insurance in her job.
Where was she working at that time?
She worked in Manhattan for a T-shirt business. She was the bookkeeper. The owner was her husband's friend, and she had that job when she moved from Israel. And what happened? What was the question again?
About the Board of Education when you and Connie sued them.
She had no health plan, so I went to a Jewish organization. She got a health plan because she wasn't well. She had childhood issues. And so it was a lousy health plan. And one day, one of my colleagues is sharing about his wife going to his doctor because I said, she's on your health plan? It's the first time I found out. And I said, I want Connie on my health plan. So at the same time that I sent out a letter that an application for Connie on the health plan, I get it back and it says verboten. You're not allowed because you're not married. At that moment, Lambda Legal Defense calls me and asks if we would be in this lawsuit for domestic partnership.
Okay. And they found out
For
because...
the health plan for all New York City employees.
Wow, the universe was really having your back. Holy crap.
Yes. Well, that's what I recognize, that you call it the universe, I call it God. God put me in that place so the two of us could do what we have done in the community. And that's how it is.
You ladies were on Phil Donahue, who was like Oprah folks back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, like Phil Donahue was what everybody looked up to. You know, when these talk show hosts retire, they all say Phil Donahue, you know.
Right.
You got pretty pissed off on that show.
Would you believe that I was in the closet until that show?
Shut up. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait. So you went on the show
I-
knowing that you're a lesbian and you decide to come out the closet on a national show?
Well, that's how I did it. Yeah. Because
Go big
you
or
know
go
what?
home, Ruthie.
No, you know what? She was always with me. And I trusted her. Mm-hmm. So we went on, and the audience, half the audience was pro, half the audience, not half, but a group of women, I think from Philadelphia, if I remember, were really against us. We were with two other with gay men who were also part of our lawsuit, and one of them, they just kept pounding us with negativity.
Saying what? Things like what?
Oh, it's the religion, it's against the law, all kinds of crazy things. You're interrupting family, blah, 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 blah. Nasty things, really. And I just got up and I yelled at this woman, and I think I said to her, "What makes you upset that I make love to her?" I screamed it, really. I was surprised, but I did it deliberately. And the reason I did it deliberately, although the audience wasn't as big as this room, the audience was there, I said to myself, "Ruthie, there are millions of people watching this. Go for it."
And you had excuse my French,
I had the balls. Absolutely. Absolutely, I had the balls.
You knew I was going there.
I got the balls.
I have
got the
chills
balls.
right now just thinking of you being on that stage with all that pressure and having good and bad thrown at you, and you're just like, are you mad at me because I make love to her? Is that what you're mad at? Like, ooh.
Yep, I did it. And I did it for the audience outside because I knew there would be LGBT people out there, and T, which I didn't know yet, were out there and needed to hear that it was perfectly okay to be who you are.
Yeah, and there's so many people that can't be who they are authentically that you were like, hell no, I am going to be the voice
I
right
know.
now.
Yep.
You had to.
I needed to. And what I recognize today is the higher power put me in that place.
For sure.
Otherwise, I never would have.
Holding Connie's
Do
arm
that.
and the universe putting you in that place gave you that
Yes,
strength
that
to
strength.
be able to do that. Man,
Yes.
you come out big. Jeez, Ruthie.
Yeah, I didn't know. Now I know because all along the way, and there's always somebody coming over, straight, LGBT coming, thank you.
Was Connie surprised that you came out like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you get some good sex in that night?
Oh, we had good sex always.
Yeah.
That was what was remarkable as well, because it was new to both of us.
So you got to explore and really
And-
make each other feel good and
Yes,
have a good time.
absolutely. That was a very important part of our lives.
And that's what the beautiful thing about women on women sex. I'm just talking to you boys and you girls out there, okay? Girls, if you're having bad sex, if you're not having a good time during sex, you're doing something wrong, okay?
Absolutely.
Two women having sex are just such a beautiful thing, and it's lovely and caring and soft, but it could also be rough
That's
and
the
hard
key
and
word.
slappy, you know?
The key word is caring.
Yeah.
That's the key
When your
word.
heart's in it, it's a different kind of sex, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and also, I was somebody that if I'm going to be in a new stage of my life, anytime when I was a teenager, I had to go into the whole thing to learn about it. So I knew about orgasm when I was very, very young, very, very young, and so
Do you remember
I
that sex?
developed
Do you,
that.
you remember that sex doctor, Dr. Ruth?
Oh sure, oh
I
sure.
remember her growing up.
I could have been Dr. Ruth.
You could have been Dr.
Oh,
Ruth.
absolutely.
To me, you're Dr. Ruth. Just saying. So we lost Connie back in 2018. 2018.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Are you glad that she passed away before this pandemic came?
You know, that's interesting. No one has ever asked me that question, and I have the answer.
Yay! All right.
She would have not been able to handle it.
You have beautiful eyes.
You know
Ruthie.
what?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. You know what? You know what? Not because emotionally or whatever, the silence.
Yeah.
She would have to be out there. The silence.
Was she an extrovert? Was she someone like that loved to be out and about? Both of
I
you?
made that happen.
You made
And
it.
she told me that because of you, all of me has come out, and I'm recognizing who I am. Because I respected who she was. She had a brilliance. She had a brilliance in every which way. Whatever she did was brilliant. Um, but her parents kept her back from going to college. They wanted her to work and give money into the house. But she was brilliant. That's what I saw in our friendship immediately.
Her brilliance.
She could speak in front of every group, and I loved it when we had the film Ruthie and Connie, Every Room in the House. And wherever we spoke, whether it was gay, lesbian, a synagogue, a church, straight people, young, old, she would be the first to speak after the film was shown, and then introduce me. So of course she got applause for ending her speech. So I would get up and say, "Isn't it wonderful to be second?" I get applauded even before I'm talking.
Even before I start, you're applauding me. I love it. Let's talk about the movie. How did that happen?
Okay, I have a very dear friend, my best friend's youngest brother, whom we lived across the street from each other, and I used to see him at the window studying, reading stuff, and I knew he was about 10 years old. I said, "This is a brilliant young man, young kid." And he was. He was brilliant. He had a PhD. He became a doctor, a medical doctor, a very, very progressive, beyond progressive politically. And he moved to California, and he came to visit me one day when I was with Connie in our early years, and he wanted to do my life story. So we went around to the schools, the neighborhood, and because of what my life story was like, and he took some videos, and then he went back to California, and there was one of those fires, burnt his house down. He didn't even have a pair of underwear, and of course it took the videos. And he said that was a blessing, he said, because I really have to do the Ruthie and Connie. And that's what he did. However, because he was a straight man, and though originally we had a lesbian director, I told him she's not good. She wants me to make up what to do. No. She wasn't directing. He brought in a woman who was a wonderful director of these kinds of films, and got a couple of she didn't get Academy Awards, but nominations, and we clicked, the whole crew clicked. We're still friends, and they did the film, but the lesbian film place, I forgot the name of it, refused to show our film.
Why?
Because it was straight people who did it.
Oh my Lord.
But we got around
But it's about two lesbian women and their love. It didn't matter.
Didn't matter. But we got around the world, around the country. We traveled all over, and that's when I spoke. Remember at the Compass Stonewall?
Yes.
And I shared what I met my community and what we could do if we all came out at the same time for 2 hours. We could close this country.
We really could.
We really could, because we give to this country. Every LGBT person gives to this country, and to be treated this way is not even ugly. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? When somebody commits, it's criminal.
Criminal.
Absolutely criminal. They don't get to meet these extraordinary, wonderful people. Sure, there's characters. Sure, there's other stuff. But we give to this community.
We give our blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
We really do.
Absolutely.
So the movie happened, and Variety said 2 of the funniest and most outrageous queer activists you'll ever see.
They said that?
They move, enlighten, and inspire, and that's Variety.
Oh, wow. I need a copy of that.
I'll send it to you.
Please.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. From Variety. Very nice. It never affected my ego. This is what my work is. what's in my heart, and
I
everything.
think you've been an activist since you came out of the badge, Ruthie.
I kept my children out of it, though. I did not want them to be involved because they might be hurt.
Okay. And today?
Even though they're all adults and I have grandchildren, I feel the same way.
And do they agree? Like, did they want to be a part of it?
They don't even know.
They don't know about the movie?
They know about the movie, but they have their lives, you know.
Okay.
My grandchildren enjoy it.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so here at the Fay What Show, we play this game called Say What with Fay What, okay? And basically, I give you, it's like a quick or game, and it's just a way for our viewers to learn more about Ruthie.
Okay.
Right? It'll be like, it'll be like
ready.
black and white. You pick black or white, you know, red or green. You pick, you know, red or green.
If you're going to do that, it'll make it easy, but other stuff may be hard.
Okay, well, we'll try, all right?
But you want what comes to my head right away.
Yeah, right away.
You got it.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Plastic or glass?
Glass.
Tent or camping RV?
Tents.
Fishing or hunting?
Fishing.
Hats or headbands?
Headbands.
Blue or green?
Blue.
Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Silver or gold?
Gold.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Long or short hair?
Whatever.
Batting or pitching?
Pitching.
Roller coasters or bumper cars?
Bumper cars.
Giving a gift or receiving a gift?
Both.
Traditional spaghetti or chicken Alfredo?
Neither.
Ow. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Sleep on the left or sleep on the right side of the bed?
Both. I do both now.
Do you?
And
Since
I'll tell
Connie?
you why.
Since Connie?
Yes, this is what happened. We had a king size bed, and Connie slept. If we were doing this, she slept on that side. I slept on this side, but always turned because when she was falling asleep, she would always say, "Touch me." So my hand was always on her. When she passed away, I began to sleep on the left side. If I get up during the night, I go to the right side.
Oh, wow.
If I get up again, I go to the left side. That's what I do.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. You know, and that's so weird that you say that because like right before I go to sleep, I do this to my wife. Like I just put my hand right there just to feel her.
Yes, that's what we did.
You're gonna make me cry.
That's what
Rosie.
I did.
Usually I make the interviewee cry, not the other way around, you know? And it's just to like know,
Yes.
all right, and I don't fall asleep that way, but yeah, you know? And
I got you.
God, that's
Oh, that's
beautiful.
nice to hear.
That's so beautiful.
I thought I made it up.
You did make it up, but I just picked it up years later. Sleep in a quiet room or some white noise?
To start to go to sleep, a little noise.
A little noise, okay? Do you watch TV?
Yeah.
Any guilty pleasures that you have? Something that you know it's bad TV, but you watch it anyway?
No, I can't think of anything.
What do you watch? What do you like to watch?
I like to watch mysteries, and mostly mysteries.
I love Dateline. Do you watch Dateline?
No, I don't even know it. What is it?
Dateline is like they'll do stories on like people who were killed or mysteries or people that disappeared
Dateline,
or stuff like that.
No, because it's a story. I need the acting out. More the acting out.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have somebody that do the dramatizations and they
Yeah,
have people
but it's
acting it out. It's not
and
the
then they're
same.
talking about it.
Yeah, I don't like
No,
that
I
either.
don't. I can't do that.
So you turned 88, and now in a couple months you'll be turning 89. Now in
Right.
March, right?
Right?
Do you look around and say, "What the fuck has happened to our community"?
Absolutely.
You didn't even think. You didn't
I
even
do
stop.
it every day.
Well, you didn't even stop and take a breath and go, "Well, no."
Oh. Yeah.
What if do you think that we ruined everything? Do you think? What do you
It
think?
was ruined for us. We were given some freedom, but we didn't stay together enough. We didn't really build upon that freedom with the words, "What if they take it away?" And that's what we need to do. We need to build that camaraderie, that caring, that understanding, that sharing, that helping, that donating, and making things happen for us. Because you're not going to shut me up,
Never.
okay?
No. No.
And
But if everybody wouldn't be shut up, then we would be
It would be
unified in a different
Yes,
way.
yes.
You know, they put this acronym together of LGBTQ, LGBTQ plus, right?
Right.
And They never asked any of those people if they wanted to be together.
No,
Okay?
no. And there's difficulty with the lesbian.
And the gays.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a problem with the
Very
lesbian and the
much.
gays, a huge one. I consider myself kind of like a modern fag hag where I only hang around with mostly gay boys.
Understood.
Right? But I've noticed that there's not a lot of women in their groups,
No.
you know, and vice versa. There's not a lot of gay boys in the lesbian group. But I know that during the AIDS crisis, lesbians were the ones who came to,
And help, of course, I know. I was there.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's kind of forgotten.
We haven't come together.
Yeah.
We haven't come together.
What do you think of our governor?
Can I say it?
Please.
Well, I'll say it in Yiddish, in Jewish. And the word is mamza.
Mamza.
That means bastard. You got it?
I got it.
I call Trump the same thing. He's just another mold of Trump. And it's disgusting. And sometimes I wonder why I'm living in Florida. But I want to be in your face. And I think not enough people who really care speak up, speak out. I'm not only talking about our community. I'm talking about people who are our allies, who care about what's happening in this country, in this city, in this state, in this world, are not speaking up enough.
Yeah.
And sure, I can hear people say, well, they have to work, they're poor, absolutely yes. But what about the others?
Yeah.
Not enough. I try, every Saturday I meet with a group of women, straight women. It's where I live. The gays are not coming to say hello to me, even though I showed the film twice. Straight people, you know, they know who I am, and it's fine. And they ask me questions and things of that nature. But just not enough happening.
Yeah. Yeah. You say that you learned about the T.
About the what?
About the T in LGBTQ+. You
Yeah.
learned about the T later on, you know?
Yes.
Like we were talking about the division between gay and lesbian. I've also encountered a division between lesbian and trans women.
Yes.
And
there's a big reason for that.
please.
From what I've heard from friends and things of that nature, a lot of the trans, male to female, do not go through the entire operation. So lesbians can't really deal, the so-called straight lesbians. The lesbians can't deal with the erection. It's very uncomfortable. It says they're a man.
Okay,
And so it's a problem.
but the lesbian is not dealing with a trans woman's penis. Why should it
If
bother
they-
her so much?
Because if they come together as a couple.
Okay, but you like what you like. You know, I would think, like, for me, women are women and that's it. If you're a trans woman, you're a woman. So you're
That's
part of
how
my
you
group.
think.
I know. I know that's not
There
how
are a number-
everybody.
Not all of them are thinking that way. It's almost as if trans women are taking away the lesbian word.
But they're not. But they feel that way.
They feel that way, and what can you do?
Yeah.
It's hard to come together because we haven't come together.
We never completely came together.
Right. We
think you're right.
didn't put those letters into one word because it's difficult. There is lesbian, there's the word gay, and there's trans, and there's bi, and how do you get one word that could bring the community together?
It would be very difficult. Somebody would be mad and not want that word for them.
Always.
Right?
There's always
Right?
somebody.
Yeah, there's always somebody. Ruthie, any message to LGBTQ+ elders out there?
Oh, when you say elders, you have to describe it to me. Because when I hear elders, I see people in need. They need help. They need friends. They need support. That's what I see.
Do you think that that's what's happening with the senior gay community, that they are lonely and not seen?
Yes. And I think
That's horrible.
the outside community, has to come together and help them. There happens to be a bill called the Ruthie and Connie LGBT Elders Law.
Okay.
To bring it into the Elders Law that's been there since 1956, so that LGBT elders can get the same kind of services, be treated differently, because often what happens when they need the service, and the person, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, an Indian chief, taking care of them and finds out who they are, they treat them very poorly.
Yeah.
That to me is unconscionable. It's sinful.
Yeah. Healthcare workers took an oath, yet they still do treat somebody LGBTQ plus differently.
Doesn't matter.
We're blessed now that we have organizations. We have different organizations that we can go to. You know, we have Midland, we have
But we need
SunSurf,
those organizations to be able to get services, money from the government for elders.
For elders.
That's why this law is very important. It hasn't passed, hasn't gotten out of committee, but it's extremely important. And the community that's covering the elders has to really speak up and not even speak up, shout. This has to be done. Our people have worked and spent their lives taking care of America and having input and growing it and supporting it, and they need the same kind of support as any other elder.
Amen. Ruthie, what would you tell young LGBTQ plus?
That's a good question. That's a good question, to know they're okay. That's the big one.
It's hard.
That they're okay, and that whatever they're feeling, what they need to do is join Compass, which is in Palm Beach County.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of community center, join, make friends, check out people in school. I mean, I started an LGBT club in Edward R. Murrow High School, where I became a guidance counselor. And the LGBT, it wasn't T yet, still came, and so did straight kids join the club. Mm. And that's very important. That's coming out. You cannot do it alone.
No.
You have to go to your community, embrace it, make friends, become part of it. And, you know, I would also, and I've never had the opportunity, I would speak to LGBT parents, kids, because I think the parents are more embarrassed, number one. Number two, fearful.
Mm-hmm. And uneducated about the community as a whole.
Absolutely. And they have their religion. Look, I came from an Orthodox Jewish community. I practiced Judaism, not Orthodox, but the way in which to treat people, how to be as a person, holidays, things of that nature. And the religions must either shut their mouths or become supportive.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you when I was in middle school, I knew I was gay already, right? And like you just triggered something because the only person that knew, my mom didn't know, my friends didn't know, nobody knew, right? But I could talk to my guidance counselor because there was something about her that made me feel like I can say whatever. Yes. And I never felt that way even with my own parents, that I could say exactly what was on my mind and not be punished for it, you know? Now here in Florida with the Don't Say Gay, if someone comes out to their guidance counselor has to tell their parents. If the guy,
really?
Yes, ma'am. If my guidance counselor would have told
Here in Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
That's unconscionable.
If my guidance counselor would have told my mom, I would have been deported. I would have been taken back to Colombia.
Oh my God.
And I would not be sitting here in bed with you today.
So what can I do about it?
Exactly what you're doing right now.
Not enough. No, I'm talking about the school system.
As an ex-teacher, there's probably a lot that you can do. There's a lot that we all can do. You know, like this fight will never end. And it seems to be getting worse and worse. And now it's going towards our kids.
It's really that we're being used.
We're pawns.
They're abusing us and we're being used because people need something in common. And it isn't always good. They need something in common that's sneaky, bad, whatever. So they pick on us.
Lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Ruthie, I could stay in bed and talk crap with you like for hours and
You're
hours. You
welcome.
know that? I'm gonna go like slip into your bed next time without a camera. I might still take a dog. Ruthie Berman, look up the movie. It's Ruthie and Connie, the movie. What was the?
Ruthie and Connie, every room in the house.
Every room in the house. Make sure you look it up, okay? Look it up. And also follow Ruthie on Facebook, okay?
And Connie. And Connie, too. On what's that other one? Not
Facebook, Instagram, we have Twitter.
No, come on, one more. The one that
YouTube?
Everybody's on.
YouTube,
whatever. There's one more. Why can't I think of it? Where Connie speaks about what happened in Orlando is totally brilliant. It was off the cuff. We were at Lake Worth. They had a whole coming together of the whole community, and we were asked to speak. 10 minutes before we were asked to speak, we're on. Connie spoke. Brilliance. I'm trying to think. Why can't I remember?
Oh, but we could find it. If we find it, it's Connie. What's Connie's last name?
Kurtz, Kurtz.
Connie Kurtz, and we also have Ruthie. If you type that into Google, you'll be able to find it. I really think it's on YouTube. I think I saw it on YouTube, and that's where I'll look. But if you want to,
maybe it is YouTube. Yes, it's YouTube.
So look it up. And if you want to follow Ruthie, you can also go to Facebook, and she's under Ruthie B100. Correct?
No,
That's an old one?
Ruth Berman. I'm on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And then the movie is on Facebook. That may be Ruthie B. I'm not sure, but I'm on Facebook.
If you Google Ruthie Berman, a ton of stuff will come up. You'll be able to find it. Trust me.
And Connie Kurtz.
And Connie Kurtz as well.
And
the film. Get yourself educated. Know the shoulders that we stand on today, okay? Because those shoulders that we stand on are on their knees. I mean, literally, all right? We've got to do more.
Yes.
And you know what Ruthie and Connie did before, I don't think most of us would have had the cojones to do now, okay, with the freedoms that we have. So just take that in. Ruthie, thank you for being in bed with me, Mama.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you. We're friends.
We're friends.
Love you. Wonderful.
L'chaim.
Wonderfully done. L'chaim. That's, you know what that means?
No.
To life.
L'chaim.
To life. To life. L'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life.
You see?
Da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 da. Sing l'chaim to life. Yeah, that's from Fiddler on the Roof.
I love that. I love that. Ruthie, thank you so much for being on the Fay What Show. We'll be
Very
right back.
nice.
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the Fay What Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the Fay What Show. Get the week started with me.